At every season start, I always try to cover and promote the build first that, in my opinion, is the most fundamental for an easy early progression, and that is usually a GR90 speed build. Early in the season, the focus, in my opinion, should always be on acquiring gear and materials, for which you want to target tier 90, whereas later it might be a good idea to transition into a build that focuses more on efficiently gaining XP and of course something that you can push the highest tiers with. Fortunately, Demon Hunters got it fully covered in this season, to the point that you'll find a suitable build for practically anything that you wish to efficiently farm. But for the time being, just focus on probably the fastest GR90 build I've ever played in this game, the GoD. Now, for those of you familiar with the setup, there's nothing really new this time, aside from being supercharged by both the altar and the soul shards at the same time, giving some insane utility and power creep, including easier resource management, movement speed and some very welcome area damage. As for the gear we use, we obviously run the 6-piece of Gears of the Redlands set, which will allow us to accumulate momentum stacks upon firing primary skills, resulting in a sizable damage and movement speed buff. Outside of this, we stack as many damage multipliers as we possibly can to increase the damage of Hungering Arrow, which is the only ability we deal damage with while running this setup, as Strafe is basically only used to shoot it more conveniently. Our rather limited toughness comes from the 4-piece bonus, the permanent uptime on our Vengeance and the Guardian set, which in my opinion should be a no-brainer include for almost all builds in this game on lower paragons. We also leverage some shield mechanics which in combination with properly timed smoke screens can help preserve our skirt's buff, but generally we should aim to kill stuff before they can hit back. Gameplay wise, we start off by shooting 5 Hungering Arrows to apply the maximum number and duration of momentum, press our potion for a shine effect, activate Vengeance and Fan of Knives for the extra toughness, and hold down Strafe to start moving down anything that crosses our path. Frequently use smokescreen to avoid dangerous situations and to keep up the extra movement speed from our passive. Use preparation whenever it's available to gradually gain back our discipline. And the most important is to manually shoot a Hungering Arrow every 5 seconds to avoid losing momentum stacks and to activate the other part of the Focus and Restraint set. Keep in mind that for the former, you may shoot into the air and still get the stack, but for your ring buff you need to actually hit something with it to work. There's also a bug that would sometimes prevent you from gaining stacks, just shoot 1 or 2 extra arrows and it should eventually count. And this is actually it. It is a rather simple build to play which can reach some ridiculous clear times, frequently hitting below the 1 minute mark even without a fully optimized setup. Oh, and by the way, you can pretty much use this exact setup to farm Nephalem Rifts and Visions of Amenities as well, making it in my opinion the best early season build for Demon Hunters. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. As always, you can check the gear I used at the end of the video, while you can also find the planner link for the optimized setup in the description. See you next time.